We may talk back and forth, Chris is on one side and I'm on the other, which is a fair stance, and I just think it belongs. There's a consensus to it.
I'm fine with it staying as well.
So yeah, let's explain the consensus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, if I'm on the wrong side of that, I don't have any problem with it, but to me, I don't think it belongs in there. I don't think B does, I don't think G does.
Okay, moving along.
Consensus is to keep, am I hearing that?
Here.
Explain to me why we need this document when we have an ordinance. We have an ordinance that says that we use Robert's Rules of Order, and this takes all that information that we already have in two ordinances and chops it up and changes it. So now, I mean, I don't think there's much in here that's aligned with Robert's Rules of Order, is there?
I think that's council's decision on whether you want to use Robert rules or utilize this. I recall in the conversation, there was, when this initially came up, was the question of whether Robert rules was what this organization should be using. But that's clearly a council decision on whether you want to use Robert rules, which is more formal, or
Well, in many
so
cases,
should we train on Robert rules, or should we write a different?
Well, either way, if we adopt this and vote on a resolution that's forthcoming, it's going to conflict with the existing ordinance that says Robert's Rules is what we use, right? So we kind of need to decide all that now, because as soon as this is adopted, you've got conflicts in here. I mean, I don't know,
For
Robert's.
example?
Well, I mean, I don't know a specific example, but you're basically restating Robert's Rules of Order in
Essentially, Robert's Rules of Order.
4 pages, but, I mean, I would think you need to go through and see where those what those differences are. I mean, I'm not sure. But you're summarizing it either way.
Well,
And it's not necessary if you already have an ordinance that says that's what we use. I mean, those are the rules.
Robert's rules don't really apply to what we
Yeah,
ever have done because we don't vote from the floor.
Yeah.
You know, so there's many elements within Robert's rules. We don't have a declared sergeant of arms. We don't, I mean, all of the other aspects of Robert's rules. You know, again, back to whether or not we need to revisit the charter ordinance and make a determination of modifying it. Okay, but that's not two separate events.
Is that charter ordinance that establishes Robert's Rules of Order, or is it just code? Because if it's not charter ordinance, I mean, we can just
I think
establish a
it's
new
just an
ordinance to repeal that.
Here's
An
another
ordinance,
Go back and look at
which
it.
I would be fine with.
What's the answer?
Robert rules is defined in section 2.05 of your code.
Right, but what was the ordinance that enacted? That's the question. As we go through the code, there's various ordinances that enact various sections.
1991.
Because
Well, that sounds like ordinance, not charter ordinance.
because I know charter ordinance is charter ordinance.
We only have like 20 of them. There's only 20 or 21 charter ordinances.
And the last charter ordinance, I believe, just kept us in the city at large rather than awards, and that was done in 2000.
Actually, I think the last charter ordinance was repealing the charter ordinance that established the electric utility.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's, I'm not against repealing an ordinance that makes Robert's Rules of Order the preferred method. I think that using Robert's Rules complicates matters, and I think that it's,
Well,
it doesn't
it doesn't add to the
No,
process.
I think as long as we have a process and a procedure, then we've got something that we can refer to. And if it's easier to digest and understand and apply,
Right.
then then it, you know, we don't, the arguments don't break down to particular sections of a book that can be a little arcane.
Well, and, you know, under duties of mayor, you learned an example, decide all questions of order subject to appeal by any member. I mean, isn't the parliamentarian, which is the attorney, the final arbiter of what that order is? And under here, you've got it as the duty of the mayor. Under chapter 2, it says duties of the mayor shall be responsible, or I'm sorry, decide all questions of order. I mean, that's not the mayor's job, it's the parliamentarian's job, which is the attorney, which I think is expressed in our code that way.
It is subject to appeal by any member.
Well, but I mean, ultimately, you want an attorney who knows the laws and the rules to arbitrate that decision, not
Should it be
subjectively apply.
Should it be clarified who it's subject to an appeal to?
Yeah, because I mean, I guess I read this as the mayor can decide all questions of order. If a member objects to that, then the attorney would then be the litigator that decides what's right or wrong. And if we need to clarify that, then I think we can clarify that.
I agree.
So what about,
As part of the procedure.
Right.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
so what about to put a vote, all matters properly presented before the city council? I mean, the mayor doesn't make the motion. Is that what that says, or is?
You know, we generally don't make motions without how would council like to proceed.
Right.
Right.
I think that's
I
as
think
simple
it's
as that, just that statement.
just calling for a,
It's calling for a vote.
calling for a vote.
Right.
So what about G then? Why are we waiting to discuss that at a later date? I mean, as long as we're gonna finalize this document and build a consensus, and Chris, you've indicated that you've talked to Cheryl, and it sounds like Randy's talked to Cheryl about it, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Then why don't we just hammer that out right now as to who should rightfully be able to decide who's appointed to the council?
Well,
It's not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda. It's
And
something
they don't have,
that-
they said they don't have the information.
Yeah,
They
you
from
have the
other
opportunity.
cities.
What-
all sides opportunity to prepare themselves for it.
Right.
But
Well, I
more
mean,
importantly, it's not,
you're
it wasn't on
asking-
the published agenda, so
It's
public,
a work session, though. We can hammer out things in a work session. We're not taking a vote.
but you don't think that people might either want to share their thoughts on that before the work session, so that the public might, we don't have this.
We don't have an opportunity to have people share their thoughts on it
No,
before.
by email, because the agenda's published early, so that they could have sent an
And
email
they'll
with
have
their
a
thoughts
chance,
on that.
they'll certainly have a chance to respond to that, but we can have a consensus to change it tonight and let them, give their opinions when it
I think
goes.
it's just the opposite, we need to move on.
Yeah,
What-
I
what-
don't
what-
think you're gonna get a
what is it-
consensus to
I know,
change
what
it
is it
tonight.
that you guys like about it that you won't defend?
No, it's not that part of it, it's debating it on tonight's form. I'd be all for Cheryl, we can put this on an upcoming agenda item that will be publicized with citizen input. We can debate it until not until the end of the days, because I just do not
Well, also
want to.
the-
But we can discuss it and
We
really
don't have
prepare
another
ourselves
work session
from,
before the 21st, so.
And we need to allow staff the opportunity to be
Yeah.
prepared.
Nobody got the end of days. No.
mine,
Yes, that's time for us, anyway.
may all be irrelevant.
I got it.
I know.
My daughter wrote up.
I gotta work on my delivery, anyway. Okay, so we shall, at some point early in the year, have a discussion regarding mayoral authority relative to appointments. Is that what I hear?
Well, back in June, I was wanting to talk about elections and appointments, and,
Right.
yeah, I think that's,
It's up now.
Well, I think that gives everybody an opportunity to present.
I think you're the only one that wants to talk now, Larry.
Yeah.
So,
June's enough, I think enough time for us to come to an agreement.
Yeah, that's not a consensus.
All right.
Let me make sure I understand, because this language is in code,
We want to talk about.
By ordinance,
Right.
with the ordinance adoption, and allowing public input, Am I hearing that this item